Good evening. CBC News has learned that a report commissioned by the provincial government is recommending the creation of a residential tenancy compliance and enforcement unit. Although the Tory government has had the consultant's report for months now, it has so far refused to release it. Michael Gorman joins us now in studio with this story. Michael, you've seen the documents. What are they? What do they say?
Tom, these documents are the result of a study the government commissioned back in November to look at problems that both tenants and landlords have raised about the way the Residential Tenancies Act works in this province and the ability to enforce it. These documents that we've obtained validate the concerns that both sides have raised. It points to a system that is cumbersome, is difficult, and takes too long often for people to navigate. It notes that it is sometimes difficult, if not impossible, to enforce orders, and that there is no recourse for repeat or egregious offenders under the Residential Tenancies Act. The documents recommend that the government change legislation, introduce those changes this fall to create the unit, and for the unit to be stood up and operational this coming March. Tom, as most people know, over the past few years, both residents and landlords have not agreed on much when it comes to housing in this province, but on this issue, they are in lockstep. They want the government to act on the recommendation.
I think we know that there are repeat offenders in the system, whether they're tenants or landlords. And so having a proactive body that's looking at that to be able to actually enforce the rules that already exist in the Residential Tenancy Act is really important.
The current situation where both rental housing providers and tenants have to go through a 6-month process to discover residential tenancy orders lack of enforceability is concerning.
Tom, both Joanne Hussey and Kevin Russell say they have not seen this final report and they have no indication from the government yet of its plans, but both of them hope they will take action with this recommendation.
And so what are you seeing in terms of political reaction to this?
Well, Tom, the government isn't saying much, and in fact, they sent us only a 2-line statement on the matter. That statement does not say whether the government will act on the recommendation or if legislation will come in the fall. Instead, it says that they confirm having the report and that they're still considering it. And while the government isn't saying much about the issue, opposition leaders say that silence speaks volumes. Along with the report, the government is months late delivering housing strategies for both the general public and for students, and we have yet to see the housing needs assessment. That document is intended to guide politicians and other officials in how to deal with the province's housing crisis.
The government is now sitting on 3 separate housing studies that can help actually deal with the housing crisis that we're experiencing here in Nova Scotia. We've got seniors who can't find places to live. We've got homelessness increasing by 50% just over the last year. We've got university students who are dropping out because they can't find or afford a place to stay in Nova Scotia. And this government is not moving with any sense of urgency whatsoever when it comes to the housing crisis that's affecting so many people.
We have a huge issue with housing right now, and it's an issue that's going to cost money to fix, and that's going to require some serious government involvement. And I think that this government has been trying to avoid that eventuality. They don't want to have to step up to the plate and do something to ensure that there is enough affordable and accessible housing supply in this province.
Tom, the Liberals have previously tabled legislation to get a tenancy enforcement unit in place, and the NDP plan to do the same this fall. Both Zach Churchill and Claudia Chender say they hope the government will follow their lead.
We'll see where it goes from here. Michael Gorman, thank you very much.